Are you an empath that feels such anxiety in her relationship that you feel actually that you're showing up more like a little girl than a grown woman? You've come to the right place. Hi, my name is Joelle Leyden, and I'm the founder of Love by Design and JoelleLeyden.com. It is an honor and a pleasure to talk to you today and to share some tips to begin to shift that for you. Let's begin with a definition or an understanding of what anxiety is. Anxiety is just a physiological response to perceived danger. Often as empaths and as sensitives, because we're so attuned to our surroundings, we're so attuned to what's around us, we place a lot of our sense of security on outside forces. When that happens, we get tripped up. And we feel anxiety. And especially when we're in relationship and we're looking for approval and acceptance and loving from our partners, and we're not sensing that that's there, we begin to feel agitated around that. So what needs to happen is a shift in perception and to no longer look outside for our sense of security, but to understand really and truly that it's an inside job, that our security and our safety actually comes from within. It comes from understanding who we are as empaths and highly sensitives. And once we do, it comes from beginning to approve of ourselves exactly in that place. And then the third is to then embrace the totality of our emotional range, right? And then we can bring all of that into our relationship with our beloved. So let's take a look at these a little bit more closely. So first piece is understanding ourselves. So when we are placing all of our attention outside to feel safe, and we don't really understand like why we behave the way we are, or maybe why people keep saying that we're so sensitive, or why we feel so overwhelmed all of a sudden, and we don't understand that we're actually naturally wired to be this way, then we can actually find ourselves wrong for being who we are. And we can let ourselves stay in this feeling of like, it's completely out of my control. I can't control this in my relationship. I'm completely anxious and overwhelmed all the time, right? So the first step here is understanding, education. Educate yourself on what it means to be an empath. Educate yourself on what it means to be highly sensitive. Because when you understand both your superpowers and your gifts, as well as the shadow aspects, then you can begin to identify like, oh, this is what I'm feeling right now. It has nothing to do with my situation with my beloved. It has everything to do with me, right? And understanding that piece of me. So what that allows you to do is to locate yourself on your own life roadmap and your own relationship roadmap, right? And begin to take personal and energetic responsibility for at least the educating of yourself. Step 2 is once you've educated yourself and you better understand your proclivities and your tendencies and how you're naturally wired, then you begin to approve of that. You begin to approve of yourself and begin to set boundaries for what works for you, what doesn't. And especially if you're an empath, this is super, super important because we can take other people's energies without even knowing that it's happening to us. So then we can begin to set boundaries for the people, the experiences, the situations, the environments in which we place ourselves, and we begin to say no to those things because we know that it doesn't serve us. And what that allows us to do is be more generous with what we can and we do give to our relationship with our beloved and to our relationship with other people. We can be much more generous in that way. And the other place that we need to sort of approve of ourselves is in placing more balance in our lives. That means with the time that we devote to certain activities, the foods that we eat, the sleep that we get, making sure that we're taking care of ourselves and bringing balance into our lives because we totally, totally need that. And the third part, and this is super important for us, is downtime. We process deeply. We get a lot of information. There's a lot of data that we need to process. So we need on a daily basis to have quiet, alone time. It's a non-negotiable. It really is a non-negotiable, because if you don't do 1, 2, and 3, right? If you don't begin to set boundaries, have more balance, and do the quiet time, then all of that's going to create that agitation and anxiety. It's going to pour right into your relationship. So all of this is about taking personal and energetic responsibility for who you are as an empath, as a highly sensitive, and therefore begin to show up responsibly in your relationship, so you can have the kind of relationship that you desire and you deserve. You just really and truly deserve nothing less. And besides, your partner will totally thank me and thank you for taking that personal and energetic responsibility. Beautiful. I hope you got some tips here. If you feel you need more support, reach out to me. My email is joelle@joelleyden.com. I'd like to offer you a complimentary clarity session where I get to place all of my attention on you and help support you in getting clarity on your next best grown-up girl steps. All right, it's been an honor and a pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye.